Hey everyone, it's Puja here. Today I'm trying out a new thing. I'm recording a video to talk a little bit about writing habits and really what are the top 10 ways to build a really strong writing habit. So I've got Sally here. She's keeping me company. I'm up in the mountains in Colorado, and I feel like it's a really good place to talk about this because, sometimes we're on the go and life is all over the place. You've got travel schedules and weddings and family and friends and all these things you want to do, and it can be really hard to fit in a strong writing habit. So I feel like it's a very apt place for me to talk about this, especially since I built my writing habit while I was going all over the place. So the first thing that I would say is to shrink the goal. So when you talk about daily writing goals, a lot of times people try and start super ambitious. And I definitely did, and sometimes that was okay, and sometimes that was too hard. So start with something small. 1, 2, 5 sentences, a few paragraphs. Or maybe it's just, I've got 10 minutes between meetings, or I don't have to leave for another 20 minutes, so I'm just going to try and write something. I think that those little pieces really, really add. So that would be number 1. Number 2 is tie it to something you already do. So for me, for example, I'll be like, oh, I'm going to take Sally on a walk in 15 minutes, but after I'm done writing for that 15 minutes. And then, maybe it's, I'm going to drink this cup of coffee and I'm going to write at the same time. Or whatever it is, something that you're already doing. Call it habit stacking, or just ways to put writing into your daily routine. So moving on to number 3, create an environment that just enables you. So that's, carry a notebook if you usually do carry a bag. Don't be afraid of trying to write in a crowded place or things like that if you can just sit down. So, I did a lot of writing on train rides, on plane rides, things like that. But, worst case, you can use the Notes app on your phone, and I've found it to be shockingly effective, especially when you just dictate into it. But just remember, don't read messages or emails at the same time. So, but just try and create little triggers that enable you, make it easy. All right, so moving on to number 4, your first draft does not have to be perfect. In fact, it will never be perfect. Frankly, no draft you ever do will really be perfect. But for sure, your first draft is something you do not want to be editing as you're writing. And if you do that, you will never get past your first page, first chapter, first 50 pages, whatever it is. You're just going to keep going back and keep editing. So you never go back. You just keep going. And then when you're done with that draft, then you can go back and revise it as much as you want. But not until you get to that end. So number 5, lots of people, including me, live by our calendar. So schedule that time. Schedule that half an hour, schedule it the same way you might schedule catching a flight or a meeting or a lunch break or whatever. Schedule the time in for your writing because it's sacred. It's important to you, so it should be on your calendar. Number 6, I would say, is set a minimum word count. I have played around with tons of different ones. So now on a good day when I can set aside a good amount of time to write, my target is 1,500 words a day. But that's a big target. So forget about that. Try something small. 250 words, 5 days a week. That's 65,000 words a year. That's also the size of many novels. So just start with that, play around with it, and if you feel like you can increase it, you can always increase it. But you don't have to. Just start somewhere. Number 7. This is all about the streak. So I think about this when I look at like my Duolingo app, which is really funny because it's all about like oh, I have a 300 plus day streak, and it's because I've been using it little by little with occasional breaks, but like still within that streak. And it's just so many days, and that's amazing. And as you keep doing that, you don't want to lose that streak, so you just keep writing. So the same thing, basically. Then number 8, so remember something very important, which is, why do you want to write? So for me, I feel so compelled to tell the stories that I have in my head. My characters talk to me, and I need to get that down on the page. I also don't feel good if I don't write. I don't feel emotionally strong and fulfilled. And so remind yourself of whatever that why is for you. Think about it, write it down, remind yourself however you need to. Number 9, join some kind of writer's circle or accountability loop. You know, when I was starting out, I participated in NaNoWriMo, a National Novel Writing Month, which is a 30-day writing sprint for the month of November. And it was super intense, really, really fulfilling and amazing. I'm not saying that you need to do this, but they did send daily motivational blasts, and I found those to be incredibly helpful, especially when I was starting out. So something like that, or just write-in groups with different organizations. I know, for example, like Boulder Writers Alliance that I'm part of has writing groups and organizes write-in sessions at different cafes. There are tons of other groups like that. Or you can pick somebody that, you know, also wants to do something similar, and you keep each other accountable and let yourself do that for each other. And then finally, number 10. This goes back to what I was saying. So perfection is not a real thing. It is impossible to achieve. It's something that we strive to, and that's amazing. But recognizing that you are human. So you're going to mess up, you're going to miss days, life's going to happen, all that stuff. It's okay. Don't be too hard on yourself. Forgive yourself, and then write the next day. I really like to think of this in a way as I saw this video about fitness a long time ago, and the trainer talked about never 3 in a row. So ideally, you don't want to have 2 bad meals in a row or 2 days where you miss workouts. And I think the same thing applies to writing. So try not to have that 2 in a row. But really, if it happens, it's okay. Try not to get 3, but just start where you are and don't be too hard on yourself. So just remember, overall, so getting to the end here, this was a longer video than I intended. Whatever you can do, this is about consistency. This is about habit. It's not about being hard on yourself. It's not about being a perfectionist. It's not about overthinking things. So just let this be something that's emotional, that is messy, that's personal, and remind yourself every day that it is okay for this to matter to you. Don't feel guilty about it. Just do what you can. Thank you so much for listening, and Sally and I would love to see you again. Bye-bye.